Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The diagnostic trouble code DTC P0117 indicates a low voltage condition in the ECT, Engine Coolant Temperature Sensor 1 circuit for the Honda HRV models from 2016 to 2022. The ECT sensor plays an essential role in monitoring the temperature of the engine coolant, providing crucial data to the Engine Control Module, ECM. This information helps in adjusting engine parameters for optimal performance and emissions control. If the ECT sensor sends a voltage reading below 0.08 volts, it triggers this DTC, indicating a malfunction that could lead to poor engine performance or increased emissions. The location of the ECT sensor 1 is typically found near the engine, usually mounted on the engine block or cylinder head. It connects directly to the ECM through a wiring harness, making the integrity of these connections vital to the sensor's operation. DTC P0117 refers specifically to the ECT sensor 1 circuit's low voltage condition. The ECT sensor is a critical component of the vehicle's engine management system, located either on the engine block or cylinder head, depending on the specific layout of the Honda HRV. This sensor measures the temperature of the engine coolant, relaying this information back to the Engine Control Module, ECM. The ECM uses this data to optimize engine performance, control fuel injection parameters, and manage emissions. A reading below the preset threshold of 0.08 volts indicates a potential short circuit, poor connection, or malfunctioning ECT sensor. Understanding the precise error is crucial for targeted troubleshooting to avoid wasting time on unnecessary repairs. Several potential causes contribute to the activation of DTC P0117. Firstly, poor connections in the wiring harness between the ECT sensor and the Engine Control Module, ECM, can create a resistance that leads to low voltage readings. In addition, loose terminals or corroded connectors can disrupt the electrical flow, resulting in unreliable sensor data. A faulty ECT sensor itself is also a major suspect. Sensors can go bad over time due to wear and tear, heat, and exposure to engine fluids. Each of these scenarios should be carefully evaluated during troubleshooting to pinpoint the exact cause of the low voltage reading. Therefore, a systematic approach to diagnosing the problem will help ensure that repairs are effective and that the vehicle operates as intended. The symptoms associated with DTC P0117 can significantly affect vehicle performance. One of the most noticeable is poor engine performance, which can manifest as hesitation, stalling, or difficulty starting. Increased emissions are another serious consequence due to incorrect fuel mixture inputs from the ECM, as the ECT sensor provides vital temperature data for combustion adjustments. The vehicle may also be at risk of overheating, as the ECM may fail to respond correctly to overheating engine conditions without accurate temperature readings from the ECT sensor. Additionally, the check engine light will typically illuminate, providing the driver with a warning that something is amiss with the vehicle's engine temperature monitoring system. Being aware of these symptoms can aid in quick diagnosis and repair, which is essential for vehicle reliability. The first troubleshooting step for addressing DTC P0117 involves verifying the problem through initial assessments. First, turn the Honda HRV to the on mode without starting the engine. This will enable the necessary systems to power up for testing. Next, utilizing the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, check the parameters of the ECT sensor 1. Specifically, you want to look for voltage readings. If the recorded voltage is less than 0.08 volts, then the current conditions match the threshold established for this DTC. If these conditions are duplicated successfully, it confirms a consistent fault. Therefore, the technician can proceed to the next step. If the conditions do not match, this suggests an intermittent failure or a momentary glitch, indicating that you should check for poor connections or loose terminals between the ECT sensor and the ECM. The second troubleshooting step focuses on performing a performance check of the ECT sensor 1. Begin by turning off the vehicle and placing it in the lock mode. Disconnect the ECT sensor 1 connector to isolate the sensor from the circuit. After disconnecting, turn the vehicle back to the on mode to enable the systems for testing. Again, consulting the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, check the voltage levels at the ECT sensor. If the voltage reads less than 0.08 volts, it affirms ongoing issues with the ECT sensor circuit. If this is the case, it's advisable to replace ECT sensor 1, as this reading confirms a faulty sensor that cannot provide accurate temperature measurements. This is crucial, as incorrect temperature data can lead to larger engine management issues. In the third troubleshooting step, the technician needs to check for any shorts in the TW wire associated with the ECT sensor circuit. Begin by turning the vehicle to the off lock mode. It's essential to jump the SCS, service check signal line, with the HDS to isolate specific components and prepare for continuity testing. After this, disconnect the PCM connector C51P to isolate it from the system. The next step is to check for continuity between the ECT sensor 1 connector and body ground. Under these test conditions, continuity should not be established. If continuity exists, it indicates a short in the TW wire between the PCM connector and the ECT sensor 1, necessitating repairs to eliminate this issue. If there's no continuity, this suggests that the wiring may be intact, but additional steps, like checking for PCM software updates or substitution, might be needed. After completing the recommended repairs to address DTC P0117, it's critical to verify that the issues have been resolved satisfactorily. The first step in the verification process is to clear any diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, from the vehicle's onboard computer. Following this, a test drive of the Honda HRV should be conducted to allow the systems to re-engage. Monitor the ECT sensor output during this drive to ensure it operates within the standard parameters. If the previous DTC does not return, it indicates a successful resolution of the issue. Should the DTC reappear, it may necessitate a further investigation into the wiring, connections, or even the possibility of a newly installed sensor being faulty. Final repair verification ensures that the vehicle operates safely and efficiently. Preventive maintenance is essential for avoiding future occurrences of DTC P0117. Regular inspections of the vehicle's wiring harness, especially around the ECT sensor and the PCM, help identify potential issues before they escalate. It is recommended to visually check for frayed wires, corrosion, or loose terminals that could interfere with the sensor's function. Keeping the ECT sensor in good condition is also important. If there are signs of wear, or if the vehicle mileage suggests aging components, consider replacing the sensor proactively. Additionally, regularly updating the engine management software in the PCM can prevent miscommunication between the ECM and the sensors. By taking these preventive steps, vehicle owners can enhance reliability and minimize future repairs, keeping the Honda HRV's performance optimal. In conclusion, DTC P0117 signifies a low voltage reading from the ECT sensor 1, which can lead to significant engine performance issues if not addressed promptly. Understanding the essential role of the ECT sensor in maintaining optimal engine function underscores the importance of timely diagnostics and repairs. Troubleshooting should begin with verifying the problem through initial tests, followed by detailed checks of the sensor and associated wiring. Recognizing symptoms such as poor performance and increased emissions reinforces the necessity of prompt action. Adopting preventive maintenance practices can greatly minimize risks and prolong the life of both the sensor and the engine. Overall, staying informed about this DTC can help keep your Honda HRV running smoothly. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.